So we talk about the vertex. Can we find that very easily? Well, the x-coordinate of the vertex of the graph of ax squared plus bx plus c, where again a cannot equal 0, is given by x equals a negative b over 2a. So to find the y-coordinate, we basically take whatever that value of x is, plug it back in here, and we'll get our y value out. So that's what it is. So as an ordered pair, we usually write it as a minus b over 2a, comma, f of a minus b over 2a. And what it is that's your x. And so this is f of x. So we plug that x back into the f because usually these are written f of x equals, in this case, they made it simple so you see it's a y, but f of x and y are the same thing. And so that's usually how we find it. And as we can see, it does show f of x in this case. So we're supposed to find the vertex of the graph f of x equals 2x squared plus 8x minus 3 and support your answer graphically. Well, so a is 2, b is 8, so we plug all that in and we find out that x is equal to a minus 2. Now we plug that back in here as the x value. And when you do all the math, we find that that's equal to negative 11. So our vertex then is negative 2 comma negative 11. And here they did a simple, they just plotted a graph on the calculator and they found it and then found the minimum. And the minimum was at negative 2, negative 11. Okay, so sometimes you can do it that way. Most of the time, we're going to have you graph it by hand. And so then we can find the graph or the vertex that way. All right, so here we're going to identify the vertex and the axis of symmetry on the graph, and then we're going to graph it. So this time we're going to graph it by hand. So what do we have here? Well, in this case, we have to think about this. This is our A. Where is the B? There's no B. So the B is equal to 0, and then C is equal to negative 2. So what we do, if we're going to graph it, let's plot some points first. So we choose a bunch of x's. It doesn't matter which one. So we can usually start at one of them at 0 and then go either direction depending on how the graph is. And then we plug those into our function and we get our y values out. And when we do that, then we can plot our points and it looks like a nice parabola. Then we draw a line through it and that's what the parabola looks like. Now remember, these lines, they don't just stop here, but our graph paper stops here, but these just keep going on forever like this. So they just keep going up and up and up and up. So they go up to infinity. So it looks like our vertex is at what? 0, negative 2. Okay. And axis of symmetry, therefore, is at x equals 0. So this is a way to find everything using a graphical method where we just plot points and we end up with our answer that way. All right, let's stop there and we'll come back for some more.